Hi folks, welcome back to our news campaign for the Storm of Vengeance scenario pack. Today it's scenario 5, and as the former scenarios, it's again a very special scenario, as you will see in a minute during our scenario briefing. Storm of Vengeance, scenario 5, Shadow Warriors. Space Marine Scouts infiltrate Ork lines. Although Nazdreg's attack on Kothridge has been smashed and Ghazghkull was still safely contained in Kadilus Harbor, the Space Marines were still no closer to understanding how the Orks were getting onto the planet. Large-scale probing attacks by the Dark Angels were called off after encountering yet more newly arrived Ork forces. Clearly, the greenskins were still getting onto the planet, but how? And what would their next move be? Up until now, Belial had felt he could deal with the Orks using the local forces under his command. But as he encountered more and more of the enemy, he realized that what he faced was a full-scale invasion, not just a raid. As soon as this became clear, Belial ordered Brother Librarian Karen to request aid from the rest of the Dark Angels chapter. They were nearby, but it would still be more than 10 days before the full might of the Dark Angels could be on hand to deal with the Orks. However, before the rest of the chapter arrived, Belial was determined to find out how the Orks were getting onto the planet. As both the early patrols and large-scale probing attacks had failed, he decided to send a small, hand-picked scout unit on a nighttime reconnaissance mission. Their task would be to infiltrate the Orks lines and find out exactly how the Orks were getting to the planet, then relay this information back to headquarters and await new orders. The chance of surviving such a mission were considered to be less than 1%. Okay folks, these are is my small detachment of my scouts for the 5th mission of the Storm of Vengeance campaign. As you can see, it's only a scout squad and a special character which I suppose was published by GW especially for this scenario.
Yeah, but only in the 3rd edition, I think.
Ah, okay.
And Nazdreg was the other model.
Yeah. Okay, those two models were released during this campaign, and this miniature is Veteran Sergeant Naaman. He's a really tough scout veteran sergeant. He has the same statistics as a chaplain hero, meaning weapon skill, ballistic skill 6, strength, toughness 5, 2 wounds, and so on and so forth. And during this scenario there are lots of special rules. Maybe it's best we explain them after deployment or during the battle. I think it's more easy to understand the rules if we do it this way. Okay, with which weapons is Sergeant Naaman equipped? He has a chainsword, frag, crack and plasma grenades, melter bombs, photon flash flare, and a master crafted bolt pistol.
Mm-hmm. Any warrior cards?
Yeah, warrior cards, of course, the master crafted bolt pistol.
Yeah.
Then he has a scanner, which you can see on the model. Then he has chameleon,
yeah,
a teleport homer, which you will, I think, need for the next or the 7th scenario, I don't know exactly. And then he has 2 special equipments, a silencer and a silentium. And what exactly these things do with the squad, I just said it, we will explain it during deployment. Also, some special rules: we evade detection, maximize cover and brush a side blow, but I think we come back to this when we will need it. Then furthermore, I've got a squad of 5 scouts, a normal scout squadron, including the sergeant, and they have bolt pistols, I've given them only a sword, a normal sword, no chainsword, which you will see later maybe why this is a good idea. They have frag and crack grenades. One guy has a flamer, let's say. It's this guy with the heavy bolter. And the sergeant carries a power sword.
Okay.
And has a wargear digital lasers.
Okay.
As wargear card. Okay, these are my small scout force.
Okay, and this is the first part of my small orc force. I've got, and you can see the mighty progress. Hello, Josh from Crown of Command. This is the one I've had before we started our campaign, the old one from 19 somewhat or around 2000. This is one Alex painted for me as a present. This is one I painted myself, and another 3 in progress. So within the next 1 or 2 weeks we might have 6 out of 40 Gretchen. And I've got 10 Gretchen used as sentinels in this scenario. Alex scouts will try to kill me or to move around me without me noticing, and then behind the screen of Gretchen there are 2 orc camps, and I have to roll for the amount of Goth orcs. If I roll doubles, I'll get a knob in addition on top. So for the first orc,
the dice roll is the amount of orcs which are in the campsite. And
I might even get in addition a knob as a leader. Okay, the first camp. So 5. Yeah, that's below average. And the second camp has got 9. 5 and 9 is 14 out of 24. It's a little above average. No doubles, so I could have saved my time.
Painting the knobs.
Okay, and we'll be back after having put the terrain on our table in order to explain some more special rules. Okay, we are back with our table. The table is 40 by 60 inches. As you can see, they are at the utmost edge and around 20 inches away from them there's a screen of Gretchen. There are special rules which we will explain later for moving them, who is able to control them, which direction they face will be rolled and stuff like that. And here are 2 campfires represented by our crystals with lots of Goths. Before we started, we only had 1 Goth orc, and now there are another 2 ready and several ones in progress, even knobs, because I mixed Scarboys, because I mixed them up with knobs. Okay.
They can't move away from the campsite.
So the first and most important rule is that they'll stay over there until no larger fight will occur, until the Gretchen are able to raise the alarm. There are special rules for raising the alarm, but we'll explain them later on. The alarm can be raised by close combat shooting and so on. But what is more important is that Alex will have to roll, because it's a night battle, the amount of inches you can see at the beginning of each of his turns. Okay.
It's by 2d6.
Yeah.
The goal of the mission for the Space Marines is to reach with at least 1 model this between the campsites,
the other edge of the table.
Off the table from this side. This is my goal. At least 1 model has to reach it. If I manage this, then I have won the battle. And the goal of the Gretchens and Orks are to completely wipe out the scout force. Then they will win the battle.
Which will be quite difficult in case of Neyman. But let's see. We've agreed.
The first turn.
We've agreed to film only the first game of scenario 5. If they don't succeed, you have to play it another time until you succeed. And it affects the outcome of, I think, one of the last battles. Yeah. Okay, we'll be back after Alex's first turn.
Okay guys, that's the start of the battle. We haven't rolled a dice yet to show you how the mission is played correctly. Okay, it's the beginning of the first turn in the game and the Space Marine start, and first I have to roll the distance, the spotting distance for the first turn of the Space Marines and the Orks. Okay, that's a lot.
11.
So 11, so the Space Marines and the Gretchens, Orks can see up to 11 inches.
So you can run if you want to, your full distance.
I will do that. I ran 8 inches towards the hills with my scout squad and veteran sergeant name. Okay, that's the end of my turn.
Yeah.
Because I've ran, I can't shoot. I have no psyker, no hand-to-hand combat, so
that's it.
That's it.
Okay, normally we come back after the movement phase, but today we've got something special.
Okay, just to give you a quiet outlook how the sentries work in this special scenario, because it's the night scenario. The Gretchen in the Ork army have been ordered to act as a picket line to spot anyone approaching. However, they are not all that effective, their minds being occupied with thoughts of the warm fire and the quick burgers being handed round. So there are some special rules concerning the Gretchens. So Marcus has to roll 1d6 for each Gretchen. Let's start with...
Let's start at the left flank.
With this one, okay.
Okay.
So Marcus had to roll a d6 and deduct -3 from the result. So in this case, the result will be 3. So Marcus is allowed to move this Gretchen up to 3 inch. Okay. After he completed his movement, he has to roll the scatter dice in order to determine the spotting direction of the Gretchen. So you see it's facing
90
in this
degrees
direction.
Okay, we'll repeat it several times.
We'll repeat this 10 times for the sentries, and
we'll see the outcome.
And if Marcus rolls a -1 or -2, because it's -3 deducted from the dice roll, then I can move the Gretchen instead. Okay, we finished it and we'll be back after the movement phase.
Or your next turn. Okay, we are back at the end of Alex's movement phase. And as you can see, he kept his forces close together. He rolled a 5 for visibility in the night.
And it's your ability as well to spot.
And used.
And I ran 5 inches towards the enemies. And as you can see, in the previous Ork turn, we moved all the Gretchens according to the rules which we explained to you at the example. And as you can see, the direction in which they face is randomly determined by the scatter dice.
Yeah, I was quite lucky and was able to move most of them. About 2/3. Alex was allowed to move 2 or 3.
I think 2 of remain stationary.
And the field of view, good luck. Okay.
Okay, next we move the sentries once more.
Okay, so it's my 3rd turn, and as you can see, during
your second turn?
My second turn, I was lucky once again if it came to choosing which direction they went, but I was really unlucky concerning when the rules when it came to where they faced. So most
All
of
face
them
towards
are
the big
facing-
burgers at
yeah,
the campfire.
hungrily looking, yeah, the
To
squid
the
burgers,
oppressor.
but there are only one or two who face in the
This
appropriate
one-
direction.
this
Yeah,
one faces
most
the
of
only-
them,
This and this one.
most of them have
Those
their
two.
backs towards the enemy. It's like an invitation to have their throats cut. Yeah.
Okay, and in my third turn, I rolled 7 for the spotting distance and again ran 7
Mhm.
inches towards the sentries. Partially in cover now, and
Yeah.
due to the specials, they are even harder to hit now.
Yeah, so technically you could try and shoot this one probably if these are 7 between this guy
But they
and
ran.
this one. Okay.
So they can't shoot. But of course, Sergeant Naumann with his mastercrafted bolt pistol, I think it has a range of 24 inches.
Yeah.
So in principle, he could
Try a
shoot
shot.
long distances.
Yeah.
But he ran, so he can't shoot.
Okay, and that's the end of your third turn. Okay, we are back after the fourth movement phase of Alex's fourth turn, and he has rolled a 9 for visibility. 9 inches is a lot, but this time he didn't run, he only walked, so he's able to do some shooting on the innocent Gretchen
As you can
sentinels.
see, Marcus moved his Gretchens in the previous turn according to the positions where they are now positioned. And you can see, especially this, I tried to shoot with my bolt pistols. And normally a bolt pistol causes a lot of noise. But for this special scenario, all the bolt pistols and let's call it basic weapons are equipped with special silencers, which prevent making noise during the shooting. Of course, if I would shoot with the flamer or some
Heavy
kind of
bolter.
heavy weapon, heavy bolter,
Yeah.
then the silencer will not work, of course. But with the bolt pistols, it works.
You won't raise an alarm only if you hit the model, and
Exactly.
yeah, then we have special rules to do.
Yeah. If I hit the model and he's not slain in this turn,
Yeah.
he will, of course,
But
raise the
for
alarm.
bolt pistols should suffice for a single Gretchen.
Even with an 8-inch, so they will receive a +1 to hit modifier. Sergeant Neyman, with his weapons basically of 6, they will all hit on 2s.
Yeah.
So 4 dice to hit. Okay, all hit.
Mm-hmm. Strength 4 versus
24.
toughness 3 should be on 3s.
Should be 3s, so 1, 1, 1.
Okay.
Okay, there were 3 wounds
So the Gretchen
with a
is dead.
-1 save modifier.
Yeah.
Okay, and the Gretchen is slain and wasn't able to raise the alarm. Okay, that was
We
good.
can remove this one. Yeah.
And now Marcus once again rolled for each of his Gretchens, which direction it moves and in which direction it faces.
And then we'll be back
At my
after
fifth turn.
Alex's 5th.
Okay, that's the end of my movement phase in the 5th turn. As you can see, the position of the Gretchens from the previous turn. Fortunately, none of the Gretchens spotted me, although this was very close. I think it was almost 9.5 inches away during the movement phase. And for my 5th turn, I rolled 7 for the spotting distance. And I moved again 4 inches or 3 to 4 inches towards the enemy. And now my 4 scouts in the first row can shoot at this Gretchen, which will they do? They will hit on 2s. So all hit. And they will kill on 3s. Yeah. Fortunately, it's killed without raising the alarm.
So we leave a painted one over there.
Okay. Yeah, that's the end of my 5th turn, and now Marcus moved his Gretchens in his 5th turn and will back at the start of the 6th turn from his Space Marines.
Okay,
That's
we're
the,
back.
okay, that's the end of my 6th turn in the movement phase. You can see the position of the Gretchens from the previous turn, and I rolled 9 for the visibility test. And my whole squad ran 8 inches cover behind the ruins. And I didn't shoot, of course, because the whole squad ran. So that's the end of my 6th turn.
And most of the small ones of the sentinels are facing the wrong direction.
Okay, that's the end of my 7th turn. As you can see, as ever, the position of the Gretchen sentries. I rolled 5 for visibility in the night, so my scouts moved 4 to 5 inches on my flank in the ruins.
And there are only 3 Gretchen left. Miraculously, 2 of them facing the right direction.
Okay guys, that's the end of the 8th turn of the Space Marines. Just with a rather large visibility of 9 inches, allowing me to charge into the Gretchen on my flank. Maybe it was not so a good idea to charge with 3 guys, because there are special rules concerning close combat. Okay, first of all I have to slay the Gretchen in order to not raise the alarm, of course. But even if the Gretchen is slain, there is a slight chance that the alarm is raised. I have to roll 1d6, and if the roll is below the number of attackers, or even equal, so 1, 2, 3 in this case, if I win the combat, then the alarm is nevertheless raised.
But I get you get a modifier of 1 because of your silenciums.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's probably on a 1 and 2 because of the special war gear.
Okay, but first of all, we start with the close combat, and I think I immediately start with Veteran Sergeant Neyman.
You caught. I've got weapon skill 1 and 2 attacks.
Sorry, I fight first with a normal card.
Yeah.
With a bolt, pistol, and a sword, meaning 2 attacks.
Bloody experience for this card.
Okay, and as we mentioned before, the weapon skill of the Gretchen is halved because they are a little bit dizzy in the night.
I got 5.
Okay, I've got 5 plus 4 is 9, charging 10. So 5 times bolt pistol, strength 4 versus toughness 3 is 3 to kill. Okay, Gretchen is slain, hooray.
Yeah.
But
you have to roll.
Okay,
1 and 2, I think the glamour of the close combat.
The alarm is raised
of your
6.
Okay.
Okay, that was very, very good.
Yeah.
And I have to keep in mind maybe not to charge with so many scouts. Okay, that's the end of my 8th turn, and then Marcus moves his sentries. Okay, the 9th turn of the Space Marines. The Dark Angels visibility is 6 inches, so I use the Shroud of the Night to run 5 to 6 inches towards my escape route.
And we've only got around 6 Gretchen left, most of them facing in completely useless directions.
Okay, the 10th turn already. Visibility is rather high with 9 inch, so I use the visibility in order to charge with my Veteran Sergeant Neyman the Gretchen sentry there, whereas my remaining squad moved slightly to the side of the battlefield. Okay, the sergeant is fighting with his mastercrafted bolt pistol and not with his chainsword.
So I think even in case of 3 ones,
so he has 2
Gretchen
attacks.
will be dead.
So 4 and 1.
Are you sure? I think he's got 2 attacks plus 2 close combat weapons.
No, he fights only with his bolt pistol.
Okay. I've got 2, but no parry.
Okay, the fumbles are cancelled out. So I got 10,
I got
charging
4.
11.
Yeah.
So that are 7 hits in total. Strength 4 versus toughness 3 is 3. Okay, it's
So
good.
normally this one is gone. Yeah.
And I don't have to roll this time because I've got only 1 scouting close combat, and by the rule of the silencium -1, so there's no chance that the alarm is raised. Okay, we move the Gretchen sentries. Okay.
That's bad. Okay. We are back before the movement phase of Alex's 11th turn, and he's already rolled 11.
For the spotting distance. So, what has happened last turn? The last thing you have seen that Sergeant Naumann killed one Gretchen, thus bringing him in close vicinity to the campfire with the Orks, so they were able to spot him. But the veteran Sergeant Naaman has a special ability
to move these 6 inches away in case he's spotted. Yeah.
Evade detection. So he can move, as Marcus said, the 6 inch away. Luckily I rolled a 6 and was able to get out of sight of the Orks. Unfortunately, this move brought me into the side of this Gretchen sentry.
The painted one.
Yeah, which
and that's the
successfully
one I painted in
spotted me, so Marcus has to roll dice. And I'm in the open, so he will spot me in a 2+ because of the silencium -1, so 3+, he rolled a 5. So this Gretchen spotted the Dark Angels. So the alarm is not raised immediately because the Gretchen, of course, has to report it back to headquarters. So in my 11th turn, I've now time to eliminate this particular Gretchen sentry in order to not raise the alarm. Okay, so of course I will move 4 inches.
Yeah.
And try to shoot at this Gretchen.
Okay.
So the sergeant.
Now you're spotted by others because at a visibility of 11.
Yeah, you have to roll. You have to move your Gretchens first. Okay, so those two get the +1 to hit modifier, +2 to hit modifier.
Yeah.
This one not. Okay, so those two shoot with 2+. Okay, 1 hit. And this shoots normally, meaning he will only hit on a 3+. Okay, so 2 hits, strength 4, toughness 3, 3 wound. Ooh, no, that's bad.
That's
because
really bad.
he already have spotted me and even survived 2 bolt shots. So now the alarm is definitely raised.
And now I think we would have to roll twice. An additional twice rolls for being hit without being killed, but it doesn't matter.
The alarm is raised, definitely.
The other one over there is able to see them
and
as
now
well.
the
11 inches.
Orks come into play, but I think Marcus
May
will
move
move
normally.
now his normal movement phase and then a little bit back. Alarm! Alarm!
Okay, and in my 11th turn, the surviving
Gretchen hero.
Gretchen raised the alarm. It's a painted one, by the way. And it's the one I painted in 1998 or stuff like that. Okay. And so they have moved towards the enemy in order to be able to shoot. They have run towards the enemy.
We should say that from now on the Gretchens and Orks can act normally. Except, of course, the visibility range, but because it's still a night battle, but they can move in the direction they want.
And because of the great visibility, the remaining Gretchen
and the Orks are able to shoot.
Yeah, and the Orks from the first camp are going to shoot. We'll be back after shooting to save some time. Okay, we are back after shooting. The Gretchen were not that successful. They only killed 1 of the scouts, but the Goths were able to kill 2 of the scouts. And now they're only Sergeant Naaman, veteran Sergeant Naaman, although he's been heavily flamed before fleeing the battle in scenario, was it 3 or 4? Yeah. And the Scout Sergeant and 1 regular Scout member left.
That's the end of the 12th turn. Okay, veteran Sergeant Naaman heroically leaps forward in order to charge 2 Orks. by the way, visibility 9" this turn. The 2 remaining members of the Scout Squad remained stationary and just turned to face the rushing Ork horde and successfully killed with the bolt pistols 2 Orks. So we'll back here for the close combat. So Sergeant Neyman fights with his chainsword and the master crafted bolt pistol.
So, and you engage with 2 Ghazghkulls.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now he can finally use his chainsword without
Raising the alarm.
raising the alarm. Okay, so I've got. Okay, the fumble doesn't count for each side, so I've got 6
And
plus
you
5
can
is
make me parry
11
because of your
charging
chainsword.
12.
I've got 9.
12, okay, so 3 hits. But now I have to use the strength of the chainsword, not his strength for the characteristic. Okay, so 4 versus 4 is 4 plus 2 wounds, so 2 wounds.
So this one is dead.
Okay, the second.
And the second one.
Ork. Oh my gosh.
Fumbles.
Okay, 1 fumble is gone. You got 1 from me. I've got 6 plus 4 is 10, charging
I
11.
think I've got 8.
Okay, 3 hits. Killing on force. Yeah.
That's toughness. Yeah. So this one is gone.
Okay.
And you can do a 2-inch follow-up move if you want to do so.
Maybe I charge this over.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the end of
That's
my
the end.
12th turn. Now Marcus' 12th turn commences.
Okay, that's the end of my 12th turn after movement. As you can see, the remaining region have moved the full 4 inches towards the remaining members of the Scout Squad, consisting of 1 sergeant and 1 regular guy. You can see the painted ones. And my orcs, the goth ones, charged Neyman in a hopefully not futile attempt to bring their strengths of numbers to bear, whereas they have gone on Overwatch. Okay, first of all we've got 6
Scratching, shooting at the scouts with bolt. No, auto pistols.
on 2+.
So 6 hits.
Okay, let's say 3 because they are different in strengths
Toughness.
and on toughness and maybe even armor. 3 strengths, 3 hits on toughness 4 sergeant.
Okay, sergeant first.
So this is on 5s.
No.
Not a single one.
3 on the normal scout.
And this is
Wounded
3 on 3. This is on 4s.
On force, yeah. So 1.
1.
So this is scout armor.
But you've got a 4+.
Yeah.
Okay. So nothing has happened. Yeah.
Okay, now
And on we go. Close combat.
One
Let's
orc
do
was
the
dead.
1 orc first, who has already been in close combat.
Okay. But
Yeah.
I wrote better. Okay, the fumble is ignored.
I've got 6 and you've got 10.
Got 6, 8.
Okay, so you've got 2 hits with your chainsword. 4 versus 4 is on 4th.
No.
No. So
Failed
this
to
one
vote.
remains in close combat.
Miserable.
The first out of 5,
Mhm.
if I'm correct.
And now
Okay, the
charged.
second one, yeah, is also charged. And you can make me parry. I've got
I've got 10.
3, 7, 8, charging 9, so you've got 1 hit.
Okay. No.
No. And the third one,
That one.
no, just 1, 1. Okay, got 3, 6, 7, 8, 9.
I've got 12.
Okay, you've got 3 hits on me.
3 times 4 up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one is dead.
4th one.
The one next to the last one. Yeah.
1, 2 die.
No, that's not well.
By the way, fantastic Norwegian movie.
1, 2 die. Nazi zombies. Okay.
You receive 1 from my fumble.
I've got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, if I'm right.
Okay, I've got 9.
So 3 hits, but only strength 4 versus toughness 5, so only on 5.
I ignored the first hit because of my brush aside blow special rule.
I'm not sure if there'll be a first hit because I need 5. Yeah.
You hit me 3 times, so only 2 hits.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, 1 is done.
1 has penetrated the toughness, so I have my power armor.
At -1, no. So you've got 1 wound.
1 out of 2.
Yeah, and the last one. Okay, the last guy. But this time you were great. No 1s and 5s. And no 1s for me as well. I've got 5 plus 3 is 8. Charging is 9. Plus 4 from the previous competence is 13.
I've got 11.
Okay, so 2 hits. And these 2 hits are at strength 4 versus toughness 5. So it's another 5 plus scenario. Only once. And you've got a 4 plus save. And you did it. So this one. Yeah.
Okay, that's the end of your 12th turn. Okay, unfortunately the video skipped, so my 2 scouts successfully killed, I think,
dispatched of the
3
3
Gretchens.
at least 3 Gretchen.
Both did a follow-up move on this Gretchen, and now we are rolling for the close combat with Sergeant Damon. Okay, first Ork. 6, that's good, no 1. Even better. Oh, even better. So 6 plus 6 is 12, 13.
Okay. Do your hit.
And you got?
6, I think.
6, 13. So I've got 7 dice in total. 4 plus. Oh.
Okay.
Okay, second Ork.
Yep.
Hooray, no 1. I've got 12.
8.
12, 8, so 4 hits with strength 4 with a toughness 4, force to wound. Yeah, second Ork dead.
Yeah.
Okay, third Ork. Brilliant, no 1, 1, 6. So I've got 12. Let's say this one cancels out.
Okay.
So I've got 12.
I've got 11.
So one hit, 4 plus. No. And the last Ork in close combat. Yeah, no 1. So 6 and 6 is 12.
Oh, no 1. That's great. I've got 3.
But reroll 1, 6. Or can you parry as well?
No, can't do so. You're right. I've got 3, 9, 10, plus 4 is 14.
Okay, I've got 12. So 2 hits, but the first hit is ignored, so only 1 hit.
Okay. So every turn of close combat. So only
1
5s. Yeah. But one of them will hit.
Okay. Armor save?
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
No?
Is it power armor or scout armor? I'm not
Power
sure.
armor.
-1.
-1, no.
Okay,
Then
so
he's
then
dead.
he's dead. So name the state, and we've got 2 problem
Okay.
tourists left in our camp. Yeah.
That's the end of my turn.
Okay, we are back in my 13th round. After the movement phase, as you can see, they remained where they were on Overwatch, whereas all of my remaining Gretchen and the remaining Orks from the other campfire have charged into the 2 remaining scouts. One of them was immediately killed by the digilasers.
Okay, where do you want to start? With veteran, with the sergeant or the normal one?
Okay, I'd like to do the Gretchen infested or combated scout first. The first Gretchen.
Was charged or the already in close combat?
The one who was already in close combat.
Okay.
2 dice. You may parry. You get a 1 from me. So this one is dead.
No, the one.
No, it's an unpatented one. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, then this one charged.
So we've got 3 dice for being the second attacker.
Yeah,
that's great.
5 maybe. Parry this
No one.
Doesn't matter. Okay.
So it's 5.
1 fumble from me. 4 plus 2 is 6.
It's 7, 8.
Okay, 2 hits.
Auto pistol 3 versus toughness 3 is on force. Both of them.
Scout armor 4 up.
No.
No. Okay, he's dead as well. And then the orc against the sergeant.
The orc is the second attacker, or?
Yeah, it depends.
Okay.
How you?
I roll 2 dice.
How you say with the digilasers? If you.
Okay, I just roll 2 dice. 6 and 3 is 9. Charging is 10.
6. Oh, that's good. Okay, I've got 9.
Yeah.
10.
Okay, now I've got only 4, 7, charging 8, so you've got 2 hits with
Okay,
your
power
sword.
sword
Yeah, so on 2s. 5s.
Oh, 6.
On 3s.
5, 6. 3. Oh.
Yeah, he's dead. So one of your models is left. And I'll use my follow-up moves on him in order to get him.
Okay. That's the end of your 13th turn.
Yeah.
14th turn. We already, or my sergeant already fired his digilasers, but unfortunately failed to wound the Gretchens. So we start with the close combat. They both made their follow-up move, so neither part counts as charging. So I've got 3 plus 4 is 7. And parry the 6.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, I've got 7.
I think I've got 6.
Okay,
so it's 1 hit for you.
Power sword. No.
Mm-hmm.
1 Gretchen down. Then your second Gretchen. I've got 4 plus 4 is 8.
You get a 1
9.
from me. And now I've got 7, 8, 9.
You hit a 4.
Yeah. 1 hit for you.
Power sword. 5 versus 3 here.
Yeah, of course. Both are
And
dead.
then I use my follow-up behind the
Yeah.
rock in order not to be shot from the Orks. Okay, that's the end of my turn. Back with the conclusion. We didn't film the last turn because the only thing which happened, maybe you noticed what happened, my veteran sergeant leapt towards the hill and was catched in the overwatch fire from the Orks, thus killing him unfortunately. So, well, the Orks have won the first battle, the first night battle. So rules-wise, we have to play the scenario again and again and again until the spacemen win the battle. And this is very important because it had a great impact on the ongoing campaign, especially for the Orks, if they manage to hold me twice or thrice or even more in this scenario. So, but we agreed that we don't film this scenario, I don't think 5, 6, 7 times. We will be back with a final conclusion in the next scenario 6, where we will
tell you about the result or the amount of the game's fought.
Of the game's fought, because I think it's not so interesting for you if we fight the same battle more than once. But yeah, I think the beginning was quite
it was excellent.
Excellent for me. I got to the ruins with my complete scout squad still vital, and but then something went wrong.
It was using
because the
medical
spotted
surgery
me.
on your part, which led you to nearly my edge of the table without suffering a single victim.
But the decisive dice roll was that I failed to wound with my 2 bolt pistols. The Gretchen rolled 2 ones or something, and thus the alarm was raised. And from then on, it was quite hard for the Spacemen to win because they were really close to the Orks, and they were able to shoot and charge, and so it was, from this point on, very difficult.
I hate the numbers. It was my nightmare scenario because the last 2 times I fought it,
you played the Space
first
Marines?
time, I played the Space Marines against our original Ork player Tube, and I had to use my chainsword, or used it because of...
you forgot the rule to make no noise.
So this was kind of havoc. And the second time it was really hard. And even although I only lost once or twice against Alex playing the Orks, he rolled really low, and this resulted in having him a second army in my back in the final campaign.
Yeah, but I think from the rules it's a really interesting scenario. One thing we're not sure, because it is not clearly stated in the rules, if the Orks at the campfire can spot the Space Marines also, because they're not clarified or declared as sentries in the sense of the rules. So, but I think nevertheless it makes sense that they can spot because they don't look all the time into the fire, I think. But it's a little bit difficult because there is no ruling from the spotting in which direction they face. Maybe this is a little bit a lack of the scenario description. So it's not clear how to work with the Orks at the campfire before the alarm is raised.
You're right. You roll for the amount of inches they can see, but nobody, and it is stated that everybody within 2 inches or within their initiative are able to spot.
2 plus, that's for sure.
But on the other hand, the Orks might face the campfire all the time and never spend time looking towards the other direction.
Maybe we should roll for them also for the face direction next time. If my scouts are in vicinity, it doesn't make sense to roll for them if I'm on the western edge of the table.
But they were really great. The scouts managed to sneak up to this point without being seen until the first one raised the alarm. The one who was shot twice and then survived.
Okay, nevertheless, we hope you enjoyed the battle. For us it was very exciting. And
we'll tell you the results,
in the 6th scenario.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.